Y'all, I used to wonder why people bought iPods. You see, iPods were, you got to go back a ways. iPods were these overpriced, inferior MP3 players. Didn't have most of the functionality of a regular MP3 player. Sometimes they'd be hundreds of dollars or more, versus a MP3 player that worked and had functionality might be about 20 bucks. Or 30 bucks if you bought one preloaded with a brand new album release. Like I remember I got the new Journey album for free by buying one. iPods were not very functional. They had this little round circular thing on it that was supposed to, be the controls, plus play and skip and fast forward. So it did what it wanted to. Like if you thought you was hitting play, it might hit skip track. Or if you thought you was hitting pause, it might fast forward. It did what it wanted to do. Now, a real MP3 player, you hit play, it would play. You'd hit stop, it would stop. You'd hit skip, it would skip. That's what they were designed to do. iPods didn't necessarily do that. They came out with the single most useless piece of crap ever in the world of MP3 players. It was called the iPod Shuffle. Now, if you don't believe me that this thing was worthless, then just think about it. They were given away by the handful as door prizes whenever you went somewhere, because they weren't worth a tokie. Now, see, these things, they would just play songs at random. And, that's fine if you got your songs that you love on there. But if you're like me, like, oh, what new records come out this week? I want to load them up and play them. Yeah, that's not how iPods worked. See, you was just SOL if you wanted to do that. See, with a real MP3 player, you could just hook it up to your computer's USB port, load up whatever you wanted. But an iPod had to sync with the entire friggin' hard drive of music that you had stored up. So you couldn't just have just the albums you wanted to check out. No, you'd skip around at random to whatever it felt like playing. Now see, on the MP3 player, you'd have those albums. And if you heard a song on one of the new albums, you like it, you could just look at the screen. It's got the information, all the meta tags and all that. And you can say, okay, I like this song. And you could not only learn what song it was, you could add it to another playlist or another folder or whatever. On the iPod Shuffle, you might never know what that song was. See, the iPod Shuffle was this little bitty square. Didn't even have a screen on there to tell you what it was. It was like Steve Jobs knew he was screwing you over, and he was one big F-U to the customers. But I'm going to throw you a disclaimer here. In his defense, it ain't like you was really going to come across very many new songs that you actually like, because this was back in the days of the Arctic Monkeys. And then came the iPod Touch. This bad boy was supposed to be the high granddaddy, high muckety muck, hoo-ha, fancy whistles and things MP3 player. And they came out with about the same time as they introduced the first iPhone. But all it actually was just an iPhone that didn't call nobody. That's all it was. You was buying the same thing twice. But people would stand in line for hours, or even sometimes in some cities, days, to buy an iPhone and an iPod Touch at the same time. I never understood that. To me, it was kind of like taking pictures of yourself in high school. And see, back in high school, now bear with me now, remember this, because you're going to get it. You think you're all cool, you're hip, you're trendy, you're all that, And then, a few years go by, and you come across them pictures, and kind of embarrassing, ain't it? Yeah. I think that's the way you feel if you think, I actually did stand in line for 2 days to buy an iPod Touch and the iPhone at the same time. It just embarrasses you. It makes you feel stupid inside. Just that high school picture. Now see, I never understood it, but fast forward, it's now 2021 or 2021. I don't care how you say it. But anyway, I finally get it. Because, now I've got into the whole, let's do the streaming on my phone And I got MP3s on there too, you know, because with the phone, you already got your MP3 player and your streamer. You don't need nothing else. Or so I thought. See, I'm out here. I was at mowing the grass, had my earbuds in, because that's what you do. Had my phone on my hip, you know, I had it on my streaming. I'm jamming out to some friggin' Greta Van Fleet. Life is good, and then I get a friggin' phone call. Song stops, volume drops down, because for some reason the calls are lower than the music. I guess you turn your music up to hear it, but you can hear the phone. I don't know. It's stupid. So then you got the ringtone on. Now, if I'm mowing grass, I'm not stopping. Every time I got some friggin' unknown area code calling me, because I know it's a friggin' telemarketer, I'm not doing it. I just let it play. Well, whenever the call is over, or that's only if you answer it, or if you just let it ring because you ain't got time to hit the, dismiss because you out there mowing grass. Anyway, when it stops and the music comes back on, remember the call was a lot lower volume. Music comes back on where it stopped, very loud. Now, it'll scare the Kertookies out of you. I swear, it'll make sure your sphincter muscle works, because you will, oh man, it'll scare the Patookie Nookie out of you. And if this happens while you're driving, try real hard not to wreck. Besides, it is 2021. People don't talk on the phones no more. They shouldn't even call phones. You text, or you Zoom. That's it. If you calling somebody, you telling me you ain't bright enough for me to stop what I'm doing and talk to you. Now I finally understand why you'd want an MP3 player separate from your phone. Because of this stuff. Now, for all you out there in the telemarketer companies, let me give you a little piece of advice. Knock it off, okay? If I'm jamming out, and then you interrupt my jamming out while I'm busy working with some stupid stuff about your car's extended warranty, that's a good way to get yourself blowed out. Okay? Knock it. I declare some people as young as